Welcome to The Explainer. Ever watched an amazing video and thought, how'd they do that? Or more importantly, could I do that? Well, the answer is a huge yes. And today, we're going to break down how to get started, from that first spark of an idea all the way to the final cut. So let's kick things off with a little mindset shift, thanks to Picasso. A lot of beginners get totally paralyzed by the technical rules, thinking they have to follow good sense. But a truly compelling video, it's not about that. It's about letting your creative instincts take the lead and then learning which rules you can bend or even break on purpose. And there's a really good reason why this skill is worth learning right now. 83%. That's a huge number. That was the forecast for how much of all internet traffic would be video by 2024. So it's not just one of the ways we communicate online anymore. It has become the way we tell stories, share ideas, and connect. Yeah, this is way more than just a hobby. We're talking about a seriously valuable, high-demand skill. Getting good at this doesn't just mean your content will look better, it can literally open up doors to some real career opportunities. And here's the proof in the pudding. A projected 22% growth in jobs for film and video editors over a single decade. That is a massive wave of opportunity. So by starting now, doesn't matter if you're a total beginner or you've dabbled a bit, you're setting yourself up for a future with some incredible creative and professional potential. So where does the magic of a great video actually begin? You might think it's with the camera, right? The lights, the action, but nope. The real secret is that the most successful projects are pretty much won or lost in the planning phase, long before anyone even thinks about yelling action. This right here, it just nails the heart of what separates amateurs from the pros. The planning part might not feel as creative or as fun as shooting, I get it. But this disciplined work up front, it's what ensures your amazing vision actually makes it to the screen without everything turning into a chaotic and super costly mistake. So here are the core documents in your pre-production toolkit. Think of the script as your blueprint. The creative brief gets everybody aligned and on the same page. The storyboard, this is cool. It actually helps you see the video before you shoot it. And the shot list is your practical, step-by-step game plan for filming day. It's a system for turning a vague idea into a concrete plan. And here is a simple habit that will save you more time and frustration than almost anything else. Organize your files before you even import a single thing. Create a folder system. Label your video, your audio, your graphics. It feels tedious at the moment, but trust me, this little bit of discipline is what keeps projects on track and, frankly, keeps you sane. Okay, so you've done your planning, you've got your footage, now we move into post-production. This is the phase that most people think of as making the video. It's where you take all those raw clips and begin to sculpt them into a powerful story. At its heart, the editor's workflow is basically the same everywhere. You gather your footage, you arrange it all in a timeline, you trim away everything you don't need, and then you add the polish, the music, the graphics, the effects. It doesn't matter if you're making a TikTok or a feature film, this fundamental process never ever changes. Which, of course, brings us to the question every single beginner asks, with all the different options out there, what software should I actually use? Okay, you're going to see these industry standard names everywhere, and they are all incredible tools. DaVinci Resolve even has a free version that is powerful enough for professional work. But here's the real secret. The best software is not the one with the most features. It's the one whose interface just clicks with how your brain works. Find one that feels intuitive to you, and your learning curve will be 10 times shorter. As you start editing, you will constantly see these two technical terms. Let's make them simple. Resolution is all about the detail and sharpness in a single image. Just think of it as picture quality. Frame rate is how many of those individual pictures get displayed every second to create that illusion of smooth motion. So quality versus smoothness, that's the difference. All right, let's look at a classic editing technique called the J-cut. This is where you let the audience hear the audio from the next scene just a moment before they see the video. It's an incredibly effective way to create this smooth psychological pull, guiding the viewer from one shot to the next without it feeling jarring at all. And the opposite of that is the L-cut. Here, the audio from a scene keeps playing even after we've cut to a new visual. So imagine we see someone get some surprising news, and as their dialogue fades, we cut to the silent, emotional reaction of the person listening. That right there is the power of an L-cut. So beyond the buttons and the keyboard shortcuts, what truly elevates your work is when you start to adopt a professional mindset. It's about understanding the core principles that guide every single decision a great editor makes.
Okay, if you remember only one thing from this entire explainer, make it this. Audiences have an incredible tolerance for shaky camera work or imperfect lighting. But if the audio is hissing or distorted or just hard to understand, they will click away instantly. Bad sound is unforgivable.
And the technical reason why bad sound is often irreversible comes down to one concept: gain. This is your audio's input level while you're recording. If you record it too hot, meaning the level is way too high, it creates distortion. And unlike a shaky shot that you can stabilize, this damage is permanent. You simply cannot fix it later. So before you ever press record, do what the pros do. Just run a quick pre-flight checklist. Are my batteries charged? Yep. Is my framing intentional? Check. How's the light looking? Good. And most importantly, is someone dedicated to making sure we are capturing clean, clear audio? Don't ever leave sound to chance. We've covered the theory. Now, for the most important part. How do you turn all of this information into an actual, real-world skill? Because knowing is one thing, doing is everything. I love this idea because it's so empowering. Editing is a craft. It's not some mystical talent you either have or you don't. An editor with years of experience isn't necessarily more creative than you are right now. They're just faster and more efficient from all that practice. And that speed is something you can absolutely achieve. The only way to learn is to begin. Don't wait for the perfect project or until you feel like an expert. Just edit a 1-minute video of your dog, create a 30-second ad for your coffee mug. Every small project you finish builds the muscle memory and the confidence you need for the next one. And that's really what it all comes down to. The software is more accessible and affordable than it has ever been. The fundamental path forward is clear. You have everything you need to start right now. So the only real question left is the one on the screen. What is the first story you are going to tell?